Ever really stop to think about your jaw? I mean, it's this incredible piece of natural engineering we use constantly. In this explainer, we're going to break down its main parts: the fixed upper jaw, the super powerful lower jaw, and the really unique joint that connects them all, the TMJ.
Seriously, how does it work? You do all these complex things every single day and probably never give it a second thought. Well, the secret is this brilliant combination of bones, really strong muscles, and one very, very special joint. So, at its core, the jaw is a system. You've got the part that doesn't move, that's your upper jaw, the maxilla, and the part that does all the work, your lower jaw, the mandible. But neither would do anything without these incredibly strong muscles like the temporalis and masseter you see here. It's truly an architectural marvel right in your own face.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture. Then we're going to zoom in on that stationary upper jaw. After that, we'll get to the mobile lower jaw. And finally, we'll look at the special joint that makes it all possible.
All right, first things first. Let's just get the basic layout down. The easiest way to think about it is like a simple partnership between something that stays still and something that moves.
So this is the most fundamental thing to get. Your upper jaw, the maxilla, is actually fused to your skull. It doesn't move, period. All the action, all the chewing, talking, yawning, that all comes from your lower jaw, the mandible, which pivots against the skull.
Okay, let's start with that fixed part. The maxilla is so much more than just a place for your top teeth. It's really the structural anchor for your entire face. And this is where you start to realize just how important it is. I mean, look at how central it is. It literally forms the floor of your eye sockets, the sides of your nasal cavity, and even the roof of your mouth. It really is the central pillar of your face.
Structurally, it's pretty simple. It breaks down into two main parts. You've got this large central body and then four bony projections, which are called processes. They kind of reach out and connect to the other bones of the skull. And right here, you can see exactly how they work. These processes, like the frontal and zygomatic ones you see, they act like architectural struts. They lock the maxilla firmly into the skull, giving it the stability it needs to handle the massive forces of your bite.
Now, of all these parts, the alveolar process is probably the one you're most familiar with, even if you didn't know its name. This is that ridge that holds all the sockets for your upper teeth, securing them tightly into the maxilla. Okay, let's move on to the action hero of our story, the mandible. Yeah, if the maxilla is the anchor, the mandible is without a doubt the mover and shaker. Now, this is a really key fact to remember. Out of all the bones in your skull, the mandible is the biggest, the strongest, and the only one that's designed to move. Every single word you speak, every bite you take, it's all thanks to this one powerful bone. Its structure is also pretty straightforward. It's got two main parts: the horizontal, U-shaped body, that's what holds your lower teeth and forms your chin. And then projecting up from the back, you have these two vertical arms, which are known as the ramus.
So each part has a really distinct job. The body gives the structure for your lower face and teeth. The ramus, on the other hand, is all about movement. It reaches up to connect with the skull, and that's what creates the pivot point for your entire jaw.
Now check out this tiny little opening right here. It's called the mental foramen. It might look totally insignificant, but for dentists, this little hole is an absolutely critical landmark. So why is that?
Well, it's because a major nerve, the mental nerve, passes right through that opening. By giving an injection right at that spot, a dentist can do what's called a mental nerve block. This numbs the nerve, and boom, your lower lip, your chin, and your front teeth are all numb. It's a perfect example of anatomy in action.
And that brings us to the final piece of our puzzle, the incredible joint where the mandible actually connects to the skull. This is the temporomandibular joint, but you probably know it as the TMJ.
This is where it all comes together. You can see the rounded head of the mandible, that's the condyle, and it fits into this little groove in the skull's temporal bone. Now, at first glance, you might think, oh, it's just a simple ball and socket joint, but it is so much more complex than that. And here is the coolest part. In the TMJ, the two bones never actually touch each other. There's a special little structure sandwiched right between them, and that's the key to the joint's unique, multi-directional movement. That secret is the articular disc. It's this small, tough little pad of cartilage that sits right between the bones. Now, it acts as a shock absorber, sure, but its most important job is to divide the entire joint into two separate compartments, and this separation is what makes the TMJ so special.
This two-part system is just brilliant. The lower compartment lets you do a simple hinge motion, just opening and closing your mouth. But the upper compartment allows for a sliding motion, letting your jaw move forward, backward, and side to side. You're literally getting two types of movement from a single joint. How cool is that?
So let's do a quick recap of this amazing architecture that makes every bite you take, every word you say, and every yawn possible. So what are the big takeaways? First, the jaw is a two-part system. You got the fixed upper maxilla and the movable lower mandible. Second, the maxilla is the anchor for your whole face. Third, remember, the mandible is the only bone in your skull that's built to move. And finally, the TMJ is this incredible two-in-one joint, using that articular disc to both hinge and slide.
So there you have it. From a fixed anchor to a powerful lever, all connected by a super sophisticated dual-action joint, the human jaw is a true masterpiece. So, what complex system should we break down next? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.